Hey everybody. Yeah, this has been something I haven't done in a while as I check my battery life. This is something I haven't done in a while, and pretty much it's a vlog rant. And I just don't get retail stores, whether the super centers or supermarkets, grocery outlets, grocery stores, what have you, wholesale stores, what have you. I just don't get it. When you schedule people and you show them exactly when their lunch is going to be, whether it's a half-hour lunch, 2-hour lunch, hour and a half, hour, I just don't get why companies don't add a little stipulation to those hours. And that stipulation to that, I should say, not to the to the hours, yes, but a stipulation, like an added, like something that would at least get the associates, the employees, to realize, oh, okay, I'm scheduled to go at lunch this time, but it will probably be more so at this time in case something happens. In other words, would it kill companies, retail stores, super centers, supermarkets, wholesale stores, whatever? Would it kill them when they make schedules to say, instead of noon to 1 is lunch, is your lunch hour? Would it kill them to say at least, to put the words between above or in there somewhere? Say between noon and 1 is your lunch hour, is your lunch time. In other words, by adding something that says, that indicates that it's between 12 and 1 or 10 and 11 or whatever, at least it gives acknowledgement to the associate / employee that, oh, we're scheduled to go at this time, but we may end up going between this time because we might get busy. So in other words, instead of an associate or employee thinking, oh, I'm going to go to lunch at 10 o'clock, they'd be like, yeah, I'm scheduled to go at 10, but I know I got to go between this time frame. But I'll probably go between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. It gives them that acknowledgement that, oh, we know that we're supposed to go at this time, but we may go between that hour frame. So instead of them thinking, oh, 10 o'clock, they'd be like, well, it's going to be between that time frame, so it might be 10:15, 10:30, 10:45. At least they would get the acknowledgement that, oh, we're going to go to lunch, but it might be later than we think. Instead of just putting on the schedule a Pacific hour frame, you should say between it. By putting between, at least it tells people, hey, at least it tells your associates and your employees that, hey, you're going to go to lunch, but it's not going to be specifically at noon or 10 or whatever. It's going to be more like between that hour. Give some kind of acknowledgement. Let them know and understand that, oh, it's going to be in between this time and not exactly at this time. It'd be a lot easier for them to figure out. You know why? Because once they figure it out, once they see that, oh, it's going to be in between that time and not specifically at an exact time, they'll acknowledge it. They'll realize, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go at this time, but I'm probably going to go in between that hour. Because if somebody is hungry and tired and just flat out, ready to, kind of call it half a day and have at least an hour or so to themselves, or even a half hour to, collect, to kind of, collect their nerves, collect the sense of being, the senses, get all their faculties back on straight, allow them time to focus back on, basically give them time to relax, allow them that opportunity to relax. At least by acknowledging that they'll go at a certain time, well, not by not really acknowledging, by telling them, oh, by the way, maybe another 15-20 minutes, and scheduling them at a time that you know specifically your store might get busy a little bit. That's not going to help them if they expect to leave to have their lunch. I'll give you an example. There have been several people at my job, I'm not going to name any, new and old, that will be on a register, and as soon as their lunch break comes around and we're busy, they will turn off that light on that register, and they will say, I'm closed, I'm done, and we'll have lines, dozens of people, and you'll ask that person where they go, or your CSM or your assistant, or the person above you, which is the CSM or the ZSM or whatever, or your assistant manager might ask, well, where'd so and so go? And you have to tell them, oh, they said they went to lunch. Or they said, oh, so and so, and they said, where'd so and so go? And they look at the palm and say, and either you tell them, oh, they went to lunch, or they look at the little device, the little mobile device that shows them the scheduling, and they say, oh crap, that person went to lunch, but we're busy, we need them. I'll tell you something from a little experience. When I used to work at Burger King, which is a fast food place back in Lawrence, Kansas, I one time went to lunch, and my boss had to drag me back inside because we were busy. And why? Because I wanted to go to lunch. My lunch time was then, and I wanted to go to lunch. But he dragged me back inside. He was not happy. He told me, look, Brian, we need you inside right now. And so I went back inside. I said, okay, I didn't know. I thought we were okay. So I went back inside. The point is we have had this happen several times over at this job, at this store. And people don't understand that you just don't go to lunch when you feel like it. You know, you just don't go to lunch when you feel like it. You have to go when they tell you to, or when you're less busy, or when you've basically caught up with things. You don't go when you want to go. But you see, that's where that whole confusion comes into play. You see, that's when that whole confusion, comes into place, because they don't know that. As far as they're concerned, oh, my lunch is at such and such time? Great, I'm going to go. They don't realize, oh crap, I need to stay behind. I need to stay. Hey, because they don't have an acknowledgement. They don't have some kind of indication that, oh, I can't go right now because I'm stuck because we're busy. Or I can't go right now because, yes, I'm scheduled to go at such and such time, but it's probably going to be in between this time because we're busy. You see, they need some kind of acknowledgement that tells us as a whole, though, oh yeah, you're scheduled to go at such time, but it may be between said time. So instead of just saying something like I said earlier, instead of looking at your schedule and having to say, oh, 10 to 1, or 10 to 11, I should say, or 12 to 1, or 1 to 2, or whatever. Instead, it should have some kind of acknowledgement that says, oh, it's going to be between that time. So that by giving us that acknowledgement, we're like, oh, okay, cool. That's good. That's great. We're cool with it. We got it. So, to me, that would probably be the best thing for any retail company to do. Whether it's Target, whether it's the company I work for, Wal-Mart, whether it's, like I said, Target, whether it's Wal-Mart, whether it's Lucky's, Save Mart, Safeway, Costco, Windco, Toys R Us, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Because if they could just come up with some kind of solution that acknowledges, yes, at this time you're supposed to go to lunch, but it may be between this hour frame, that will work. Because at least you could give some kind of acknowledgement that, oh, yeah, you're supposed to go at such time, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, but it may be but it's going to probably be between it. It will be less confusing because they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. So instead of them thinking, oh, Instead of thinking, oh, I'm just going to go to lunch, and having a CSM or assistant say, no, you got to wait another 15, 20 minutes because we're busy. It's going to be like, you're going to have some people be a little upset because they might be getting tired and they need that energy boost from a lunch. They need that break, and they need that lunch break not only to, rest and get their energy back up, but they need that food or brain food or that food to feed their bodies to get their energy back up, and that brain food to basically get the brain working again, no offense, so they can focus on the job. And when you tell them, oh, you're going to have to wait another 15, 20 minutes, that's not going to make them happy. That's not going to make them happy. And what it's going to do, more so than anything, is going to upset them. So if I'm any retail company out there, I do something about this. I fix this so that people have a better understanding as to when they're going to go to lunch, and when they're supposed to go to lunch, but have an understanding of, oh, we're supposed to go at this time, but we may go in between, but it may be within that hour of that time, of the scheduled time. That's what needs to be done. So, and another thing too, and I've talked about this before, I'm going to close this out. Why can't people understand this? Why can't people understand that when you turn off a light, it indicates either you're moving to another area, either you're going to go watch the grocery or pharmacy side or garden doors because somebody has to take a 15 or take a lunch, or you're getting ready to go to your own lunch or even your own 15 or 10, 15, 20, 10 minute break, or 10, 15, 20 minute break, whatever, or you're ready to go home. You're about ready to clock out and go home for the day. But yet you have customers constantly coming. Why can't they understand that when the light is off, it's off? And yet you have customers that see that the light's on, but they still ask, oh, are you open or are you closed? It's like the light is on. Light being on means you're open. Light being off means you're closed. Why can't customers understand that? And I think I have a reasoning why. It's because, as I've said before one time in a rant, is they're conditioned because of other stores. Other stores out there, small, like in a town like this, they have a small town like this. Well, it's a average sized town, but still small sized town. Despite having a Wal-Mart and Panda Express and all that, when you have a town like this that houses several small community grocery markets, and some of these small regional community grocery markets don't have any lights at the registers. Pretty much that causes a lot of the folks, a lot of the people in said town to be conditioned at the fact that, oh, that person's probably open. Oh, that lane's open. Oh, that lane's open. Or certain other stores like a Knob Hill or a Save Mart, what have you, or Safeway or Lucky's. They have lights, but sometimes they don't. Lights at the registers, like a Trader Joe's, whatever. So pretty much people are conditioned at thinking, oh, that person's open. Okay, I'm going to go check that person out. I'm going to go check out that register, even though that person at that register is clearly getting ready to go home. And by turning off the light, they're trying to indicate either they're getting ready to go home or take their lunch or take their break. That, I believe, is the reason customers, with all due respect, when they see the light is off, they don't realize at times, oh, they're closed. No, the first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, they must be open. Because they're conditioned. It's because they're conditioned to go to that register because they're used to the registers in the small region markets, community markets, or the other supermarkets out there that may not have lights on the registers to indicate that they're off or that they're closed. People are conditioned to it, and you know what? That upsets a lot of people. That makes people upset, and that makes a lot of people, mostly the employees, the associates, the cashiers, it makes them upset because it's like, why? Why can't you understand we are closed? And again, because it's a condition. They are conditioned to think that no matter what, if they see somebody there, you are open. If they see another customer there, even though it might be your last customer for the day or before your lunch or your break, they think you're open. And they need to realize that when the light is off and you only have one customer, that either means you are busy, that means you're not busy, but you're either going to lunch, you're either going to your break, or you're going home. They need to realize that, and they need to realize that for any store they walk into. So I pray that they wake up and realize that places like a Walmart, a Target, a Costco, a Winco, what have you, when an associate or an employee or a cashier at any of these stores turns off the light, that means they are going to break. That means they're either going to break, either going to lunch, or they're going home. And they might be going to another area to work or another register to work on, and they need to wake up and realize that. But I just thought I'd get these things off my chest with this little rant. I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's just a lot. I just had to get this off my chest. So let me know what you guys think. Have you ever dealt with something like this at your job? Comment below, and I'll talk to y'all later.